A Villain in Venice, Jane of the Air, Book 1. A steampunk detective and aviatrix and part-time spy. Available now. All profits to the NHS.
Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast, this time talking about, well, it's going to be the new Torchwood, isn't it? And of course with Torchwood comes James Goss. He really does need to share out the writing credit on this one, but I just love the monthly range. You know what? I was a big fan of the monthly range of Doctor Who, as well you know, and I am missing it, but the fact that there's a Torchwood regular release coming out every month is now the centre of all of my reviews. It's something that just keeps me going and keeps me happy. Now, released July 2021, you've got, well, Madam Samuel Barnett, Brian Dick, Dervla Kirwan. Yes, it's back to the 50s. Torchwood, Soho, the 1950s. Disgraced Agent Norton Folgate has a new boyfriend. A very lovely Adam. Brilliant scientist Lizbeth Hayhoe meets a charming stranger in the underground, the very lovely Adam. Very soon, Torchwood has a new leader, the very lovely Adam. With people losing their lives and their souls, Lizbeth and Norton must work out what's happening to Torchwood and why is Torchwood preparing to go to war. Now, for those of you paying attention to Torchwood, the TV series, you will recognise that there was a character called Adam who was in an episode which was a lot like one of the Buffy episodes where someone may or may not really be there or may not be part of the team, and it was very good. This is, in some respects, right, there are lots of respects, a prequel, but that's almost a spoiler. But the fact that it's got the same member of cast on the front and it's an anagram of Adam, I get it, right? I just do. If you know your Torchwood, then that's what this is. But of course, you don't need to know your original TV Torchwood because, let's face it, audio Torchwood is so much better than TV Torchwood ever was. Yes, it'll always refer back to its roots, but as far as I'm concerned, for sheer enjoyment, audio Torchwood is just so much better. And I adore 1950s Torchwood. Oh, on the subject of covers of discs, obviously I'm old-fashioned, I'm saying that, but you know what I mean, the little thumbnail. Big Finish must be torn because the actors are providing voices for characters, and the characters that they're playing don't look like themselves. All right, in your head, Norton will look like that, but Dervla Kirwan does not match the physical description of Liz. Just not the same. The physical description of Liz is much more your Margaret Rutherford, and it just works with that as a description. But she's on the front of the box. Now, I know obviously you have to sell things, little CDs at conventions, so you go, oh yeah, Dervla's and that. But the character that she's presenting us with doesn't look like her at all. And that's fine. The performance really captures this new look. But the cover does throw you. But I'm sure we can live with that. We really can. So, apart from the fact that you may or may not have to have seen the original, which you clearly don't, you've got a cracking 1950s bit of narrative. And you get to see sides of the characters that you're not familiar with. Little bits of development that you just weren't prepared for. And of course, we've nipped back a couple of years, back to Room 13 inside Torchwood, Soho. It is brilliant to be back in the 50s. It just works so well. And yes, there's a lot of nice throwaway remarks like the Mekon and things like that, which just give a nice flavour of the time. Norton is by far one of the best members of the Torchwood team. And for me, I could do with yet another box set. But you know what? That's fine. We never did find out what happened to the future Norton. The one, well, that's Torchwood Archives. That's for another story. But basically, is this an invasion story? Is this a personality story? Is this people just being damn clever? And yes, this story does contain a lot of knitting patterns. And you know what? You can't say no to that, can you? It's a cracking story, genuinely brilliant. And as far as I'm concerned, you'd be a fool to miss out on this one. Here's the trailer and decide for yourself. So until next time, be seeing you.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Adam.
From Big Finish Productions.
Torchwood. Madam, I'm...
It's a privilege to lead Torchwood, and my greatest privilege to lead you.
Something is wrong with time, or at least how we perceive it. Oh, this is all going so quickly, getting out of hand.
Isn't it?
Torchwood has been invaded. Our memories have been wiped, and we're being fooled into a war.
The Kernaz arrived today. Even now, they're moving into orbit, ready to destroy the world. And we, the British Empire, Torchwood, won't let that happen. Fire up the engines!
Big Finish. We love stories.
The Lady Knitter magazine?
The handwriting on the envelope, it's mine.
You're sending yourself knitting erotica?
That was the Tin Dog Podcast. Available on Spotify, iTunes, Acast, Stitcher, and wherever good podcasts are found. Get early access to content by subscribing to the Tin Dog Podcast YouTube channel. You can support the show at patreon.com/tindog. Contact the show on Twitter at tindogpodcast or email tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. All of the things discussed are the intellectual property of others. No infringement is intended. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.